Yep, perfect. Everyone here. Everyone having a lovely, wonderful time. Oh, that's everything I wanted this to be. Oh, I'm so glad I got it to work. Look at the pile of bodies. Oh, it's fantastic. G'day, guys. My name's Josh. You can call me Jarwoodle, and welcome back once again to 7 Days to Die Alpha 17, where we are back in Jarwoodle Park to continue experimenting with our wonderful new, brand new discovery, the ARROW slot force field that has served us well so far, but we're really going to be using one trick of this pony, and that is to keep us safe from the zombie hordes. How can we keep the zombies away from us? And I think we've covered that reasonably well, so now it's time to turn our attention to try and figure out how we could use this wonderful new mechanism to try and exploit the zombies. So just like before with making the killing corridor and the pool of death base, all those kind of ones, where you're turning the zombie horde to your advantage because they drop wonderful loot and they give you awesome experience if you can do it right. So I want us to figure out how can I control the zombies to act exactly how I want them to do and funnel them into somewhere where I can easily kill as many as I possibly can and harvest all those goodies just for myself. So what I'm thinking is just like in the highlands of India, where for millennia people would build walls around their village to keep everyone safe from the vicious tigers coming in and mauling everyone to death and carrying off the women and children and babies off into the jungle to be eaten later, like carrying a little backpack full of snacks. As their civilization progressed, they stopped using walls to keep tigers out and they started using walls to keep tigers in. We built zoos, we built attractions, we did all that kind of stuff. We made it so the walls were keeping things where we wanted them and not just keeping them out from where we were. So that's what I'm kind of thinking here. We've used the force field to keep the zombies at bay, but now I want to build a little pen for the zombies to go into. But the trick here is, I mean, clearly they're not just going to walk in from one direction and then suddenly get trapped and not know how to get out again. If they can get in, they can get out. So what I'm thinking is getting something like this, but instead of having their safe territory on the outside of the arrow slots, have it on the inside. In fact, probably a better example of that would be this one over here. So whereas before I was on the inside and I was safe, this time I want the zombies to be on the inside and I can be on the outside, so I can just stand here and watch the zombies run around as much as they like. In fact, let's just quickly test that out. I'm standing on some barbed wire and breaking my ankles. Let's get some Chelseas in there. What are you guys gonna do? You're just gonna run around in circles for a little bit? I mean, that's fine. See what I mean? I now have the whole world to go explore and build and do whatever I please, and they can just stay inside their little pen and continue running around. And then, you know, maybe once a day, I'll come and, like, throw, I don't know, a new survivor or, like, a child or something in there, just for the zombies to eat, make sure their nutrition is getting kept up. So that is the main idea that I have. The trick is gonna be, how do I get them inside the pen? And also, I mean, I have to do it some way of using myself as bait. So where can I go that will force the zombies into the pen so they get stuck but keeps me safe so I can harvest the experience and the loot at my own leisure? And I think I've got a couple of ideas, but the first part of this is going to have to, actually maybe I'll build the top of it first. I'm thinking maybe some sort of, like, very similar to this actually, some sort of like little raised platform to get them up and over, and then maybe like a drop in the middle, like dropping them down into a pen underneath, and so I'll be in there somewhere, I'm not quite sure. So like we know their pathing will work kind of that way from the killing corridor, so I can get them to come up like this and drop down there. So imagine if I dropped through here and then this was like a pen here, so they, once they were here they couldn't escape anymore, and then I was somewhere here and I could kill them where they stood. So that's kind of what I'm thinking. So I'm just gonna have to build myself a big square platform, I guess, with a hole in the middle. The best way to do that is to get myself some stairs where, you know, not stainless steel. Let's not use stainless steel anymore. What else we got here? Concrete stairs. Yeah, well, let's just use some, that's a reinforced concrete. I don't want that. Let's just use some normal concrete. Nice, simple building material. Not too high level that it's impossible to get in survival within a reasonable amount of time. Could definitely build this relatively quickly, especially the concrete in POIs around the joint. So you could definitely make one of these to protect yourself for one of the first hordes if you're quick about it. But just like that, I think, actually, let's go one more further in. Doesn't be too big. Got plenty of space here. I don't want to butt up against the sand wall here. I've got this nice ring going. It's 15 by 15 for those of you who are keeping track. And I'm thinking thinking, looking at it now, I might want it to go up another tier. Just so I've got more room underneath to kind of build with, and also to kind of make sure they go up a reasonable amount, so they don't try and just like dig their way through the stairs, depending on where my little safety bunker is going to be. So I'm going to get some more concrete blocks and just build my way across on the inside. Maybe just 2. I might even go up 3 levels. I'm not sure yet. I'll kind of eye it off when I get there. Just kind of, you know, eyeing things as you go is all you really need. You don't need like strict measurements. You don't need to get the old slide rules out and make sure everything matches up. You just like sit back a little distance and just kind of eye where the center is. That's how I do everything, and it usually works out reasonably well. And if it's on its tits, well then, you know, who hates tits? So far so good. So it goes up 2 blocks and then in, and then just in the middle here I've got a 3x3 hole that I'm going to fill up with what am I going to use here, actually? What's going to be the best option? Probably a couple of wedge tips, I think, and maybe some steep corners, if I can get those as well. God, this is why I don't use, this is why I use stainless steel most of the time. I'm going to type in conk for concrete, and there's just a billion different types. If I wanted stainless steel, I type in ST, and all of my stainless steel building materials are there. But we started with conk, have to continue with the conk. I want wedge tips. Where are you? That's reinforced. There's the normal. I need you, and I'm also going to need some steep concrete. Where's the normal concrete? Okay, that one there too. I heard. Oh, there's some Jeffrey's cruising around, but that's okay, don't have to worry about that. Hordes can pass through as much as they like. They're never got a path through the arrow slot, so nothing's at risk of getting damaged out here. You guys can live. Normally I would murder you on the spot, but you guys can just trundle around and enjoy your afterlife as much as you may. Let's grab this, and we're gonna go. We're going to get this to place exactly where we want it, being on the inside, not actually attached to the wall. I don't think I have the space. I was going to go like that. But I was going to say I don't think I have the space to put one on the outside and then on the inside to make like a bigger hole as I would normally do. But now that I'm looking at it, I think I might have to, because I don't think that's a big enough space to do it. Alright, I was wrong, I lied, let's do it the other way. I reverted back to a design I've used before, way back when in the original AFK base, with that drop in the middle where they can fall down. Same kind of theory as that, probably should have explained it that way the very first time. But this one does go up, so I'm building that same design, just up a couple levels rather than at ground level. And that gives you an idea for how I can better make this design work for me a little bit later on as well, but I'll get to that a little bit later. Let's replace all these wedge tips. And the good thing about building on all 4 sides here is if you need to actually put the blocks in the center, you can just go over to these, you go copy rotation, and then put that on the other side. And then just like that, you've already got the right kind of rotation there. Normally you have to like kind of click through all of the advanced rotation options. It just gets real tedious and real annoying, and ain't nobody got time for that. But this way, you have all the rotation angles that you need all around you, and all you have to do is just spin around and copy them on. Look at that, just like that, we already have a nice little zombie drop chute. You could go ahead and make the drop chute as little as just this 1 block here if you really want to, but I'm expecting lots of zombies to be coming through here, so I want as much kind of surface area as I can get, and they will see this as an option to get through to me. So with that there, I now need to build the part underneath, which is going to be very interesting. I'm going to build this wall along here. I know how much they hate having supports, but this isn't underneath the actual arrow slot force field. This is just underneath the zombie drop, and we've done this a million times. There's nothing really to worry about with this. I just need to get some supports going. And then in the middle here is where I'm going to actually build my anti-zombie mechanism. The way I'm going to kill and trap and, not really tame, but just kind of have all these zombies at my disposal. Because then if I want a big boost of XP, I can group them all up, drink some Grandpa's Learning Elixir, and fire a rocket into the middle of them. If I can explode like 18 zombies at once, that big XP boost is going to be substantial. So this is where it gets a little bit interesting, and I'm going to have to pull off some serious trickery to get this to kind of work. Because what I'm thinking is having the force field moat down here. So this will be like their pen, and they can run around down here to their heart's content and do whatever they please. But then I am going to stand up here and cruise, oh god, that was weird, and cruise around on this kind of level so I can look down and murder them as I see fits. But to get this to work, I'm going to have a bunch of different pathing mechanisms in place to make them act how I want them to act. Basically, they need to be able to think they can get from this centerpiece here down to where I am, so that zombies on the outskirts out here will run in and run to the center trying to get to that path and then fall down the bottom. And then, once they're there, I mean, sure, they'll be trapped inside the force field, but to stop them from going into destroy everything mode that they do when they can't find a path, I'm gonna have to make a contingency path from down the bottom here, back up and around to the top again. So if one anomaly does manage to get through, if an outlier makes it through the force field moats, then they're not gonna break shit and ruin the pathing for all the other zombies. So like a contingency plan, a fail safe, some sort of way, a foolproof design to make sure that nothing goes wrong in the event that something unexpected happens. So I had to make a couple of different pathing options all the way around. I'm not too sure how I'm going to do the one from here down to there that is going to not run the risk of having a zombie jump on top of it. I'm not quite sure yet. I guess we'll have to figure it out when we get to it. But at the moment, I need to build my force field down the bottom. But I need to be careful about what blocks I take away. Because we know, well, I mean, we know that they don't like the blocks that I've placed. They prefer all the blocks that were generated with terrain to start with. That's not a hard and fast rule, just a guideline I try and stick to. It's more reliable when I use the blocks that were generated as part of the level. When I start like messing with blocks and stuff, it seems to like reduce the chance of it working as effectively a little bit. So not a hard and fast rule, but definitely something I try and strive to get to. I'm gonna have to build it. I think I have to go one more down, given that it's only 2 blocks high, and I need the zombies to have enough room to kind of get in and get out should they need to. I think down on that level, in fact, we'll go down one more, because I forgot I had to put the blocks on top of it. Wait, actually, given that I need a space underneath those arrow slots, I'll go down once again. So suddenly, my little ditch has turned into quite a substantial little hole. I'm hoping it'll work. It looks like a big mushroom at the moment, doesn't it? I'm hoping it'll work the way it does in my head, because if it doesn't, I've done all of this for absolutely nothing. Let's put you. You need to go the right way, please. Can you just tilt around? And there. All right, so gap on the bottom, then the force field. That's the way it's got to be. It's making me pretty nervous, but it seems to have worked out okay. There's a big cavity underneath. Thankfully, this is kind of why I wanted to build something nice and big on the top, so that like it's hanging underneath, kind of like a tea strainer when you put it into a teapot. It's supported at the top and it hangs down underneath. So all the support is happening up the top here. In fact, if I turn on show stability, there we go. Physics is still active for those of you curious. You can see that like down here, it's not actually supported by the sand as such. It's supported from the top up there. So that's fine. That works a-okay for me. And then down the bottom here, as always, we have the supporting ring around the outside in the sand wall before all the slots in the middle. And I've deliberately made the center part, the part where the zombie's going to be very, very small, because I want to keep them here so that when I throw a Molotov or an arrow or a rocket or whatever down here, there's going to be a nice little like group of zombies standing right in the center there that can cop it right in the grill and hopefully die. So that's what I'm kind of hoping for. And with me being up the top here, I should be pretty safe, other than if I accidentally set myself on fire like I seem to always do. I should be pretty safe from any sort of splash damage or anything like that. That should be enough distance to keep me with all my limbs still attached. So from there, now that we have like the basic mechanism in place, we now need to think about the pathing. So far, I don't have any sort of pathing in place. I have no way for them to see, like come in here and run into the middle here. I have no way for them to get out from the bottom if they do manage to make it across. I have also made all the arrow slot force fields go in different directions, so that there's no kind of like easy path across it, because it seemed to be, someone pointed out in the comments, I've forgotten your name, mate, sorry, I know, I read the comment, I responded to it, that their north and south direction finding is a little bit better than east and west. So like if there was the arrow slots with like a solid path on the northern vector, then they would run across that. So I've gone against that, or stopped them from doing that by having horizontal slots, like cattle grid, going in every direction. So now that that's all there, I just need to make myself a path out of here. So I'm thinking maybe not the northern direction, given I just spoke about how they're better at finding a path going north. So maybe we'll go this way. We'll just go like there and dig out that way a little bit. Just a little path, a little tunnel right in the center of the room. So if I do make it out to the outskirts of the wall, they'll run around here, run through there. I only need the one, I don't need multiple, and they can pop back up out here. Just like with the Blender 2.0, just a ladder out here should be enough. Put a couple of torches in just to light the way. I know the zombies don't particularly need it, but I want to make sure that they can see the exit should they feel the need to actually get out of here. So they run down here, over to the ladders, up they go, out the door. I'll leave the hatches open. That looks a lot like those vents in Subnautica. You know the vents at the bottom of the seafloor that are pumping the peepers and like the fresh, nutrient-rich water at the bottom of the seafloor? I'm not going to tell you why, because if you haven't played the game yet, absolutely go play Subnautica. That is a fucking good game. Yeah, it looks just like that. That's really cool. I'll close the hatches now, though, so I don't fall back down there. And that should be enough just to get them out there. So if they do make it out of here, they will go all the way back up. And just to kind of prove that point, let's go Chelsea. We'll stick you right there, and I'll get my body, and I'll put it it right up the top here again. So like your bait is just above you. So if I put you just here, there we go. Get my pistol out and then pop out my soul. Okay, here we go. And go. Oh, yep, straight around into the tunnel. Come on, up the ladder. Get up. Oh, look at that. Perfect. Easy like, man, I love it. I mean, even though I've done that a bunch of times, having a path that works so well, it's so simple, it's so easy, and it just works so well for me. I just love it. I love it when a plan comes together. I've put in a couple of spurs off the main kind of cradle in there, just so it's sticking into the wall down here and has an extra kind of layer of support, because I don't want to build some extra stuff here and have this whole mechanism collapse just because I was too cheap to put in, what, like 12 more blocks of concrete. So if that's where, this is what I'm thinking now though, if that's where their exit plan is, then I think maybe this point here is going to be the place for me to build my little bunker. Although, what I'm worried about, so this is the thing, you know, so if I just build a bunker here, which would be fine by itself, and I stand in this little corner here, then clearly I'm closer to them running along the top up here than I am for them to jump down there. So that isn't really going to work for me. I have to build maybe like a bridge or something through the middle. I will test it first before I do, but I'm thinking I'm going to need some sort of path for them to think they can jump onto to kind of get me over here. So we'll see how we go with that, but first I need to finish building this bunker, because otherwise I'll have nowhere to stand. If I don't have anywhere to stand, then I can't kill the zombies. So I'm hoping this might actually work, although it hasn't really lined up how I wanted it to. Maybe I can make that a little bit better. So I'm trying to think of how I can make like some sort of platform across here. The old hatch drawbridge, I'm thinking. So I can put some hatches in so I can walk across and maybe get to a ladder in the middle should I need to. But they can't actually use it because the hatches get pulled up when I'm trying to actually harvest the XP. So that doesn't quite line up. So get rid of these. Get rid of these ones as well, just like that. I know I could do it, but I'm lazy. I could have just shot it myself. I'm going to put an extra kind of layer across like this, and then put those wedges on the outside, because then they will match up to the ones on the top nice and perfectly, just like that. And we'll get the ones on the other side, go like this, and go like that. And then once again in the center, because then right here, I mean, do I even need another one in the center? I guess I probably do. May as well be safe rather than sorry, especially when I'm trying to figure all this stuff out. Put you like there. How are you looking? You go right across to the other side, because then I get this, and I go hatches, and I go all the way across the top, like that, and like that, and like that, and like that, because that's super old school Shaboodle Park. That gives me a platform to run across, but I can lift up all the hatches, and the zombies no longer have a way to get across. They could land, I guess, theoretically, on that, but that'd be pretty bloody unlucky. Oh, I don't know. I don't know. I'll build it, we'll test it, we'll see how we go. I am not confident about this whatsoever, but the path is there. We'll see how we go. And I did just kind of realize, I mean, I don't particularly need this. I need this to get kind of in, I suppose. But to get out, I can just jump down here, and because I don't get tricked by the arrow slot force field, I can run down here and take the zombie exit to actually get out of here. But we'll see what happens if I put myself in my spot. It does kind of also block off all my ways to shoot the zombies as well. It's not quite as clean and simple as I was kind of hoping, but we can kind of like, we can modify this design after we figure out what actually works. So I'll leave my body there, I'll get my pistol back out, and I'll put some zombies for the first test. I'll put them just over here. Actually, no, I'll put them on the far side just to see how they go. So a couple of Chelseas, just like that. Here we go. Okay, what are you going to do? They've gone straight over the ladders. That's fine. And in, straight down to the bottom. What happens down here? Oh, they stood on top of each other. They're confused. They're running around in circles. They're trying. She's trying to get out. So, I mean, oh, they're doing some damage to it. I want them to do damage to it. Why? Why are you doing that? Why? I mean, they're all kind of split up. They're not focusing on one particular point. They're a little bit confused, but not as confused as they have been in the past. What happens if I control my body again and I just drop myself down to be on their level? What if I stoop to their level, sit on just the outside out there, and see what happens now? Let's turn the AI back on and shoot to get their attention. Anything at all? No, well, they're not getting out of the force field, but they're also not kind of getting disrupted by the force field, and they're doing a little bit of damage. Oh, and now they're doing a far more targeted damage. Okay, well, that is a result. It's not the result we're hoping for, but a result is a result all the same. So we need to do some repair work, which shouldn't take too long. Okay, interesting. But the important thing is that they saw that as a path, they fell down here, and they fell into my force field trap. So far, so reasonably good. I wouldn't be doing my job right if I didn't also test to see if it will work the same without that bit in the center. Without their path through to get to me, I need to see if it's still going to do the same kind of thing. Now, just like I thought. Just like I thought, they've decided that, yeah, nah, to that one, old matey potato, and they're going to try and beat their way through the stairs right on top of me. That makes sense. That's kind of what I expected to happen. It's annoying, though, because it means I have to have all that clutter and shit in the way. Or maybe there's a better way to do it. If there's a better way to do this, I will. But I really want to keep that kind of floor area clear so I can throw Molotovs and stuff without the risk of accidentally setting myself on fire. Maybe I just need to build more of a platform around, like some more empty space, so that the zombie, I can have like the path going in a different direction rather than straight towards me. So like the path going this way, and then the run around that way is how they get to me. That seems like it might work, at least it does in my head. Only one way to find out though. Let's keep digging, let's keep building, and let's keep testing. For this one, especially because I am so worried about them falling down here and actually landing on whatever pathing I have across here, I've gone with the steep wedge tips again, and I've ruined my aesthetics by not placing them back to back like that, because this needs to be the biggest gap here, because that's where they're probably going to fall, but I need to make sure that I do happen to land on top of it, that they're not going to get stuck, and I'm going to jump straight into it by spawning a couple of Chelseas just out there, so they're on the short side, they're on where I'm standing, with the path going on the other side, so we'll see how we go with this. We'll see how they react. Hopefully they'll see that as the option. I want to get to the ladder in the middle. Oh, so far so good, except for one got stuck in the way. She's got mad. She's punching her in the face. She's like, move, bitch, I need to buy my Doritos. Get the nipples out of my way. Okay, so they do slowly fall down. Not quite as well. Oh, hey, what are you doing down there? Can you, okay, you're stuck up there. I'll shoot the gun again to get your attention. Yeah, see, look, there's the anomaly. She got out of the force field. Oh, so is she. Are they escaping somehow? That's interesting. Oh, she fell back down again. That's a good sign. How did they get out of there? Is there a specific way out that they're taking? Okay, you need to stop breaking shit, but I need to see how you guys actually react to this. She comes in, and they get stuck again. So, the thing I'm seeing here, though, is that space, I mean, I've made the space rather small, but it's not small enough because they're getting all the way out to there before they stop. So I might need to make that a little bit smaller again, which is interesting. I wasn't expecting to have to do that. But if I make it a little bit smaller with an extra layer of force field, maybe that'll just like kick their confusion AI into overdrive and they'll stop beating on all my shit. With 4 layers of arrow slots, I'm now a little bit nervous about this because kind of the golden rule before was that you wanted to have the arrow slots as wide as your trench was deep. And it was only 2 blocks deep before, which may have been why they were so aggressive towards the arrow slots and wasn't working quite as well. But now it's 4 across, which would keep them smack bang in the middle. They'll drop down, they're dropping, from this side at least, they're dropping kind of into the force field already rather than into the center. But we'll see how we go. We'll go like this as well. We'll get a couple of Chelseas out there. No, I need to stop their AI. Get a couple of Chelseas out there. Get a couple of Chelseas out there. Oh, that's the wrong button. All of them all spread around nice and evenly just to see what's going to happen because you never know until you know. So there we go. We've got one on each cardinal direction. I'm going to put my body back where it belongs, back in my safe little spot down here. Okay, pop out my body. Do I have my pistol? Get my pistol to get their attention. HUD away. AI on and fire a couple times. All right, what happens this time? What happens now? Oh, hang on. What has gone on there? Why are they suddenly trying to come in that way? Nothing here has changed. Why are they over there now? Oh, I hate it when that happens. You make one little change to something completely unrelated and suddenly the whole thing works differently. Let's try it again. I've made no difference to the base. I've made no changes. I've just stood in a better... Yeah, there we go. That's much better. I stood in a better spot, actually on the edge here, rather than closer to the stairs. So that's something to keep in mind. But now they are in a much smaller configuration down the bottom here. They're still beating on shit, which is quite frustrating, which I think has to do, again, with the ratio being off. Whether it's... you need to make these... if it's 4 blocks wide, it needs to be 4 blocks deep underneath, which I think is a rule that I definitely need to stick by. So let's quickly do that, shall we? Let's, in fact, let's get my body to do this, given I need my sweet mining helmet. Come down here and go 1, 2, down to there, and all the way across to this side. So now it's 4. We'll give it another test and see if I like it a bit better. If I don't like it, I'll make it 5 deep, just to be sure. Give this another crack. I've got me in position with my little purple toesies out in the sunlight. Alright, let's get a couple of Chelseas in and see how we're going to go. Get their attention. Alright, come on. What are you guys going to do? Are you going to get trapped down the bottom like the good days of old, or are you going to ruin my shit? Down they go. Nice and easy. Straight down the bottom. And straight out. Both of them straight out. All 3 of them straight out. Interesting. So I made the trench underneath the force field 4 deep, and suddenly it just doesn't work at all anymore. There's no hesitation, there's no nothing. Straight across the arrow slots and straight out again. I mean, it works to an extent. I mean, you could still just stand here and murder the zombies as they fell if you really wanted to, but that's an interesting shadow, isn't it? But it's not really doing the job that I wanted it to do. It's not keeping me in the middle for me to fire rockets into a crowd. The trench down the bottom is now 5 deep, so it's deeper than it is wide on the force field. Let's get a couple of you, just like that, and get your attention. Boop, there we go. All right, please let this work a little bit better. I haven't really had much success in getting the force field to work as it did that first time since I started making more intricate base designs like that. Why did those 3 escape and this chick got all confused and stuff? She's already forgotten where I was. I'll get your attention again. But why? It kind of disproves the theory as well that they can't run across the cattle grids. Like if it's horizontal like that, they can't get across. Clearly they can, and that's even on the easterly direction as well. Okay, interesting. Well, what happens if I stand somewhere else? If I get my body, I just cruise around like this and come to over this side like that. What happens now? Now what are you gonna do? You're gonna still run towards me to get out? Yes, you are. Why? I'm flabbergasted. I don't understand why this isn't working anymore. You know what? I think I might have to just kill all of you. Kill all and get my body back. And we're gonna go back to our freaking original force field. This one over here. And see if this one still works. I don't know why. No, oh, actually, that's very deep. Could that be why? I mean, that's a very deep ditch for... I mean, it's deeper than some of the other ones given how small the force field is. Well, we'll see how we go then. Maybe we need to make my my platforms up there that I stand on. Maybe we need to make them out of arrow slots as well, just to really confuse the AI. Let's see if this one still works though. Couple of Chelseas. Please go over here. No point popping out my soul this time because I can do it from inside. Come on, come on, come on. Come in. Are you guys gonna run around like chooks with your heads cut off, or are you gonna come in and get me? Oh. 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 Interesting. Interesting. Has something changed? Because this definitely didn't happen last time I was here. Oh no, there we go. I was just standing in the wrong spot. So now that I'm in the middle, they're all cruising around doing their own thing. All right, thank you for that, Chels. I appreciate all your effort. Kill you guys and clean up all the bodies. Oh, one slipped away. Get over the top. There we go. Make sure there's no remnants of my destruction. Okay, well... I'm going to turn this platform up here into arrow slots to see if that's any better. Because if that doesn't work, I mean, this will still work if I wanted it to do. There'll still be a pile of zombies at the bottom, but I won't be able to let them just, like, congregate and pile up and get, like, a one-shot 20,000 XP kill. I'm going to have to just, like, slaughter them as they come through. I've changed the design a little bit, and I've made the platform a little bit thinner, and the bonus of that is I've got my symmetricality back. Look, it's still a little bit weird. Looks like a crown of thorns, but it's there, and it's the same on both sides, which is the most important part of all this. I can get rid of these ones here, because it's not that wide anymore. Okay, alright, I'm hoping this will still work. If I stand right here, let's get out of my soul again and get like this and go, okay, a couple of Chelseas, please come and see how this works for me. Come on, over here, please. AI on. What's gonna happen this time? What's gonna happen? Every time I do this, could be a new set of results. Oh, just exactly like that. You know, I'm too close. I'm much too close to where I need to be. So you go like this and like that, and then just like trot my little feetsies outward, just like that. There we go. Am I under the sun? I'm not yet. Okay, let's murder these Chelseas because they know the secret way in. I don't need you guys. You guys are too smart. You know too much. You can kill you and just go like this and get a couple more. Okay, let's try that one. Please go over here, Chels. Please actually run it the proper way this time. Oh, yes. Okay, good. They're going down, 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 and they're in, and they're running straight out again. Why? I don't understand. This might have to be the last chance for it, I think. I've dug the hole underneath far, far deeper than it used to be, and I've changed the entire floor to be just arrow slots. So there's now no little safe ground in the middle that will hopefully trigger the AI to run the same as it did over there, because that still works. I mean, there was one little instance where I got too close and the zombie tried to take a swing at some of the bars, but that was pretty okay. It still worked much better than this one currently is. So we'll give this another red hot crack. Make sure they're all coming in. All right, please, everyone go down into the guts. Yep, there we go. Down we go. What are you going to do? Yep, good. Good, that's much better. They're freaking out. One got out, but that's okay. For the most part, they're staying in the middle. So if you had a rocket launcher, for example, in fact, even though we don't have to imagine if we have a rocket launcher, let's go like this, and we'll go rocket, and we'll go you. I can just grab you, make sure we've got some frag ammo as well, because we don't want to be blowing up our brand new creation. I can just have you, in fact, let's go back to my body for this, and just go, whoop. just like that, and explode all of the Chelsea. In fact, that was so good. Let's get a whole bunch more. Let's go like this. Go a bunch of you, please, and back down onto our little firing platform here. Turn the AI back on. Where's my guns? I get their attention. Shoot the gun a couple of times. Please bring me more explosive debris to fire into the walls. Here they come. Come on, everyone, into the middle, please. Yep, perfect, perfect, perfect. Everyone here. Everyone having a lovely, wonderful time. Oh, that's everything I wanted this to be. Oh, I'm so glad I got it to work. Look at the pile of bodies. Oh, it's fantastic. Well, I reckon that worked pretty damn well. So let's just jump straight through to the end. Let's give this all the way up to Horde Night. We'll bang on some speeds. We're not waiting around forever. And let's get a Horde rocking and rolling. You can hear the thunder in the distance. Bring on the Horde. I'm ready. I'm in my little safety hole. Vultures, cops, whatever you want to throw at me. Everyone is welcome. Come into my hole. Stand still and cop a rocket to the jaw. Who's going to be first? Who's going to be the first person to cop a rocket in the back? Anyone? Oh, did I turn the AI? I think I turned the AI off. I was probably waiting around for a long time. I can hear him now. I can hear some dogs. That's fine. Dogs. Straight in. Straight in. Oh. Oh. I can see the shadow. He's just up there. Are you waiting for a specific invitation? Get the shit down here. There we go. Now we're starting to see some results. Some of them are landing and getting stuck. And oh, they're all just kind of... They just bailed out of there, didn't they? Can you not, please? Can you go back up and follow the path back to me, please? There we go. So it really is depending on where I stand in this joint, but that should hopefully get them all... Oh, no, moving the right way. Okay, Arlene's in. Some more in. Yeah, there we go. Congregate in the center. That's exactly what I've been wanting you to do. And when you're all... In fact, you know what? I was going to give you a quick and easy death, but you've pissed me off. So now you can just have it... Ow, a Molotov. How did I set myself on fire from that kind of distance? I was a long way away from that. I should not have been on fire. There we go, just a flaming pile of bodies. Alright, can I reload on that, please? Can more people come and join me? Any more? There's only... Oh, there's another dog. Come on, need some more. I need a nice big pile. I need some tinder for my Molotovs. I hear lots of footsteps. Are you coming in? Where are you guys? Are you still up there? I can't see anything from down here. But just do the round. Maybe that'll get you guys to come down and join me. A couple of dogs. Yeah, there we go. There you go. So basically, I mean, this will work best, it seems, if I just keep doing the rounds. And then eventually when there's a pile in the middle. How did that set me on fire? Why is the Molotov reach on this thing so incredibly big? I don't like incredibly big things. They scare me and I feel really self-conscious. But it really, I can't even reach me. Yeah, if I just keep cruising around like this, then eventually there'll be a nice little pile in the center down there. And I can just go like, oh, cool, cool. Whoop, have one of those. Set you all on fire. Keep on going. Just kind of lure them into the middle. Get them all stuck. And then murder their stupid faces. It seems to be working reasonably well. The zombies fall in there very freely when they spawn in any direction other than directly behind me over here. I don't think I dug down far enough to make this platform here. If I did have my time again, I would go 1 or 2 blocks further down just to get some more distance between the topsoil up there and where I'm standing. Because if I stand on my little firing platform over there, they seem to think they can dig through and get through that way, which sucks. But that's okay, because I can just go like this when they all group up like that, put a rocket right in the middle of them, and explode them all to Kingdom Come. That was perfect. Cops are dead, bodies are sprayed everywhere, limb from limb, heads gone that way, legs gone that way. Don't even need a crocodile. But there you go, reasonably successful, I would say. It could be improved. I mean, take this idea, run with it, implement it, like modify it how you see fit. If it were me again, as I said, I would dig a little bit further down to make it work. The force field on the bottom works, just not amazingly well. Being on a different level vertically, like having a different Y coordinate, makes the zombies react a little bit differently. Really do need to be on the same level to get that force field to work just that perfectly. But that's okay. We wouldn't know that. We wouldn't know these things if we didn't build this stuff to kind of investigate and experiment and see what the results are. So I'm going to have to leave this episode here with the morning chime letting me know that day 53 is now safe to go and build something else. But I have a very exciting announcement for you guys as well. Alpha 18 is on its way. They've put the call out saying that, hey, if you're a streamer on YouTube with more than 5,000 subscribers, we'll give you the game a weekend early to go and investigate and show off and do all the fun things. So I am over the limit, which means that I hopefully should be, if what they said is correct, should be getting my hands on Alpha 18 for the early streaming weekend. That is super duper exciting because I wanted to do that when Alpha 17 came out, but I only had 1,500 subscribers back then and I didn't make the cut. now I make the cut, and I'm super pumped to be able to bring you guys Alpha 18 before it comes out. You guys will see it on Jawoodle and a couple of other channels first, and I'm so pumped to get into it and found Jawoodle Park 2 and get to work trying to see what the best base to make in Alpha 18 is going to be. But I'll have to do that in another episode because this episode is done. So thank you guys for watching. Most of all, thank you to all the patrons of Patreon who made this episode possible. If you like, smash the like button down below and subscribe to this channel. Follow me on Twitter. If I don't talk to you there first, I'll see you in the next episode. Have a good one.